welcome back to the soul healing series that I'm doing. I hope you guys have been enjoying the first couple of episodes that I've done. So today I'm going to do episode 3, and I've got Fiona with me. I'm going to tackle mental anxiety and depression. As you guys have seen on my previous episodes, I've just told you a little bit about my story. So now it's time to bring on other people who's experienced it, who knows about it, and I've learned as well that Fiona studies psychology. So this is my sort of personal opinion story. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a counsellor. This is just my journey, what worked for me. So I hope that by the people that I'm going to be having on, they'll sort of give you things that you can relate to and that you can take, and that's also work for you. I'm really on a journey to battle and really tear down depression. Yeah, I'm excited. So I hope you enjoyed the episode, and if you want to hear about Fiona and know her story, then keep watching. Bye guys. Right. Okay guys, so I've got Fiona with me. Hi. So we're going to talk about mental health, anxiety, depression.
Yeah.
And I know you're quite passionate about body dysmorphia.
Yeah.
And that's quite that's a form of mental illness as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's basically body dysmorphic disorder. Is a condition where people will look in the mirror.
Yeah.
And they will have a perceived flaw.
Yeah.
So it will be, it may be their hair, the skin is very popular, it may be their nose, their eyes.
Yeah.
It could be anything, and sometimes it is other parts of the body.
Yeah.
And you can have different levels of body dysmorphia.
Yeah.
So it can be, you can look in the mirror for about 23 hours a day. Some people can keep going back and they can study the flaw for absolutely hours on end. Or it can be that you could be actually walking around and like as a working person, as an active person. So for me, I used to have body dysmorphic disorder. So I would be working, I would be going out with friends sometimes, but I had this constant oppressive dark mindset where I was just always thinking, do I look alright? And my obsession was my skin.
Yeah.
And I used to always think, I used to always be saying to friends, I used to think that my skin was really bad. I had a few blemishes, but it was nothing like oh my gosh, that's really terrible.
Yeah.
My skin was in an okay condition, and it's a lot better now because I've grown and know how to look after my skin better, but it literally consumed my every waking moment.
When did you know you first had it?
I knew I first had it when it was about 4 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
It was about 4 years ago now. I was with my husband, but I don't think. Yeah, I was just recently married, and I was actually speaking to a sister at church, and I said to her, I've been doing a lot of self-development and stuff like that, and I was just reading because I also had anxiety on top of that, so I was always quite an anxious person. And always very fearful, worried about what people thought of me.
Was that from the body dysmorphia? Was that
no, I think that was added to it.
Yeah.
That was added to it, but I had anxiety from a very young age, but I think I had body dysmorphic disorder, but I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
So to not go off track, but I went to church, but just before I went to church, through 15 years leading up to that point, I was in a place where I would get up in the morning and the first thing I'd do, I'd be assessing my skin, and I would be so obsessed with it that it would literally, I'd be sitting in my office hyperventilating, and I'd be shaking and trembling like this and uncontrollable, and I'd be sweating and my skin would feel like it was crawling. And once I started to research all these things, because I got to a point, I was like, God, what is wrong with me?
Yeah.
You know, I am a believer, and through a lot of prayer and a lot of self-development and choosing to say, God, I want this to change for me, especially as a married woman, knowing that I was going to have children, I wanted it to change, because I thought I don't want the children to go through any conditions that I have or have had. So leading up to that and going through everything, I went to the church this one day, and leading up to this point I'd been reading a lot, trying to understand what the mind was doing in that heaviness and this uncontrollable darkness that could not be shifted. And it was consuming control.
So would it just come on?
It was just from the time I woke up to the time that I went to sleep, and I didn't want to die. I wanted to live. I wanted a good life. But I used to wake up and think it would be easier if I was dead. I used to, say to God, I don't want to die. I want to live, but I don't want to live like this. So what can I do to change this? So and it was like I was like, banging my head against a brick wall. And I went to church this one day, and I spoke to a lady there. She's actually a lecturer in psychology, and I said to her, I really want to help people in confidence issues, and I really want to help them with the way that they think about the way that they look. Through this time as well, I was doing makeovers in schools, like teaching girls how to do makeup naturally and love themselves, but just by doing makeup and chatting to them on a one-to-one basis. And I said, if I want to do that, I need to overcome this myself, because I'm getting somewhere, but it's really not gone, and I know it's still at a point where it's still not handled properly, and it was literally like there was a demon sitting on my shoulder. It was just darkness all the time. And I'm going to say this openly, if you are a believer of God, or even if you're not, they say, oh, you have to battle your demons, and you have to get rid of your demons, and I think everyone will relate to that. That it is this darkness that you just cannot shift. And she then opened up to me, and she said, my friend, and I said, I want to get rid of this thing, what is it? And she said, well, there's a condition called body dysmorphic disorder that people deal with. And in that moment, it was like a light just went ding. And when I started to look into that, body dysmorphic disorder, I'd never heard of it in my life. And once I'd looked into it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I've got. And I didn't claim it, I didn't think, right, I've got this, I've got to live with this. I was like, right, this is the condition, body dysmorphic disorder, what happens to the mind? And I started to read a lot and started to say, okay, what does happen to the mind? And you start to realise what your mind is doing, and it sounds very simple, but it took a lot of reading, it took a lot of praying, it took a lot of faith, it took a lot of believing in myself, and it took a lot of self-affirmation and self-confession. And it sounds silly, but I used to look into the mirror and say, Fiona, you are beautiful. Fiona, your skin is wonderful.
In the previous videos that I did, one of the things that I was saying is that you need to identify what the actual issue is. So like what you were saying, it's not that you're claiming it, but if you go to the doctor, they'll never prescribe you something without first of all diagnosing you, for what they need to prescribe you for. And a lot of people hide away, even physically, I know quite a few friends that they don't want to go to the doctor because they're scared of what they might, the news that they might get. But for you to overcome something, you need to identify, this is what I'm suffering with, and this is what I need to overcome, and then go through the process. And like you said, do the reading, do the research, speak to someone like you did. Because if you don't, then you're just going to sit there, you're going to go in a cycle, you're not going to know what's happening in your life.
And it's a shame that people feel that they can't go to the doctor. Me personally, I'll never. Because I really believe the word of God when it says he's the great physician. And I said, okay, you're the best doctor out there, Jesus. So I'm coming to you. But as well, I didn't want medication. Because there is medication, but I knew that I wasn't at a level where I needed medication. All I had to do was change my thinking.
Absolutely.
And through that, a lot of research, and it took years, you know what I mean? But every bit that I did, and eating healthy, eating healthy is a big thing of it. I've done Slimming World. I've just had my baby, by the way. I'm back on Slimming World. So I'm back on Slimming World now, and even though I was eating healthy in my pregnancy, I did take advantage, and whoever who doesn't, I say, God bless you and fair play. Do you know what I mean? But I was like, if you wanted that cake, I'd have it kind of thing. I have noticed the difference. I had a healthy, but I have noticed the difference that I've been dedicated to my healthy eating plan, that my mind is thinking differently again. And I was like, wow.
That's going back to, because when I did the previous videos, I was sort of discussing different outlets that people need to find. One thing that I really want to battle as well is people not really depending on antidepressant. I feel like a lot of people, there are other ways for you, like what you're saying.
100%.
There are other ways, and I feel like a lot of people, and antidepressant actually have really bad side effects. And it's like, you need to, like what you do, you need to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am beautiful. You need to find scriptures, if you're a believer, and speak. And even if you're not a believer, there are motivational, words or things that people say to speak over yourself, because your words are so powerful.
And with what you're saying about the affirmations, now, I can't reference it, but it's just a story in an article that I read. And it's not from my source. But I did read, it was just like a brief write-up about, they did an experiment about people who took antidepressants and people that did the affirmations in the mirror, and they did it over a 2-week period. And with the two, over this, they then tested them at the end. And the people that were on the antidepressants were still unhappy, but the people that were sitting in the mirror every day, and they were told to smile while they were doing it, were actually happier at the end of it, and that they're depressive symptoms had gone down something like 60%. And they were said that they didn't feel they needed to take medication anymore just by doing that. And then there's been other cases where people think that they need to take this tablet, the placebo effect, and then they find out that they wasn't taking it at all. So the mind is a very, very powerful thing. It's more powerful than anything in the world, like any computer, anything that we think is really amazing. Our mind is a tool that we can mould. And if anyone is interested in remoulding their mind, I would say look at Caroline Leaf. She is a Christian speaker, but she's a neuroscientist, and she talks about neuroplasticity. And neuroplasticity is basically, I don't know if it's, I don't know what you would call it. It's not a medication, but it's a way of how you can rebuild your thoughts. And when you look at the images of your brain, if you've got bad thoughts, they're toxic thoughts, they come up literally like black trees. And they look like little wriggly cells. And if you have good thoughts, they glow orange. And that's actually what happens when you look at neuroimagery. And she will teach you how to mould back your mind, and there's programs that you can do, and they're life changing. Complete. And that's who inspired me actually as well, looking into her about the mind and how to have a better mind, because everything that we think goes to our heart, comes out of our mouth.
And it just moulds who we are.
Exactly.
So when you get into that anxious space and that dark space, your mind tries to teleport somewhere else where it doesn't need to go.
Exactly.
And it goes into this dark world where you feel claustrophobic, and it's like everyone is looking at you, and everyone is it's like a magnifying glass.
It's a very fearful place.
Yeah, it's a very fearful place.
And consuming. But as well, you can train yourself so for example, I said to you before I've done this, I'm nervous. So those nerves, nerves are good if they are used accordingly. But before, that kind of nerves and fear would literally consume me, and I'd be shaking, I'd be heaving, and I've had to be battling that, and for the past year I was saying, every opportunity that you get, life is short. So take the opportunities to influence and help other people. So, and that's what I just sat down and said. So when those thoughts come now, I'm at the place now where I know exactly what it's trying to do. I know that it's a lie, and I'm just going to nip it in the bud. Because it's about knowing who you are as well. It's about knowing your value. It's about knowing your worth, and it's about loving yourself. And I think sometimes we're a bit scared to go a bit deep and be confident. And it can be classed why is she boasting, why she's arrogant. I would tell people now, I am intelligent. I used to think I am beautiful. And it's not about, I'm beautiful. It's not like that. It's like knowing who I am.
It's just recognising.
It's recognising you a lot who's watching me. There is only one of us. There's no one with your DNA. There's no one with my DNA. There's no one with your DNA. And that is just so precious.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's only one of you, and that's so unique. It's so beautiful, and it's just celebrating you.
Yeah.
And I love doing that. I love celebrating Fiona because for so many years I never.
Yeah.
And it's just nice. You know, yes, I'm a size 18 now. I will openly say that. I'm 16 stone at the moment, and that was something I remember quivering as a young child when they used to weigh people in science class to do some things, and I would be the scared girl. But it's okay that I can openly say that now because I will lose weight.
Yeah,
it's something I can change. I'm awesome because I've carried a baby for 9 months.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's we can really look at this negative process immediately, but it's like, you know, with an assignment that I've done, I really wanted an A. But I got a B, and I've never got a B in my life, so now I've got one A and I've got one B.
Yeah.
You know, I've never, even though it's like, oh, but you wanted 2 A's, but it's like, no, you've got one A, one B, and it's conditioning your mind and looking at those things in that positive aspect, and having a grateful heart.
Yeah.
Excuse me, having a grateful heart.
Yeah.
If you can count the things that you're grateful for, my gosh, it can change your life.
Yeah. It just makes me think, and I don't know what your thought is on that. Like personally for me, there was sort of different, if I call it different sectors in my life. When I was little, I was very bubbly and, you know, just like laugh the party, and I'd do like karaoke's and things like that. And I got to a period in my life and it was almost like all of that was suppressed and I was changed and moulded.
Wow.
And I just wonder, like, when do people recognise that they've changed, or like when does it get to a point where they're like, okay, I'm not who
I used to
be, or I'm not who I was created to be, I'm not living that person. And whether that actually has an impact on the way, of course it must do, on the way people view themselves and how they live moving forward. What do you think?
For me, do you know what? That's a really amazing question, because I remember sitting and thinking, what happened to me?
Yeah.
And it was almost like part of me had died.
Yeah.
You know, and gone. And for me, I recognise it when I was in the midst of it.
Yeah.
But it's what you do with that information.
Yeah.
I think, and this is not me being negative, but it's because I've seen it. It's what you do with that information.
Yeah.
People will either go, oh gosh, I'm such a failure, and I'll go deeper into it, and go, hold on a minute, this needs to change. So, I don't know, and some people may not recognise it. You know, and unfortunately, and this is me being very real, especially with if you're not willing to get help, don't get to the point where you don't recognise it at all, and then suicide comes into the regime of your thinking, because that is an escape route. You know what I mean? But it's not the answer. And do you mind if I just open up a bit about that? Because as I'm just talking about that, that's something that's really laid on my heart. If you are watching at the moment and you're thinking, I want to commit suicide, I want to just take my life, that is not the way out. You have people that love you, you have people that care for you, and even if you are alone and you don't think that, you know, you're thinking, well, I've got no family, I've got no friends, I'm alone, reach out to someone, don't be scared. You won't be judged. There will be someone out there that will help you. And I personally just say, I pray for you right now. And I pray that God will send that everlasting help to you, and that you don't need to be scared. You don't need to be scared. Reach out, and you do not commit suicide, because your life is so, so precious. You was created by the hands of God, and He says that you are a good work to Him. So be strong, and if you want to go to a local church, you know, just reach out to someone, go to your local church, speak to a pastor, a vicar, a priest, just speak to someone, and just don't be scared to, because this is your life, and life can be better. Life can be better for you. God bless.
Amen. I'm glad you went into that, because that's something that I've spoken about as well on my channel. And it's been something that's been on my heart as well, like the amount of, you know, things I read or come across on Facebook, people that are just taking that route, and even personally for me, that's something that's, you know, that I've sort of crossed through, and I'm just like, I just can't, like, you know, and I don't know if it's because the way God holds me, or, you know, if I'm privileged. That there was a time at church when, you know, I was praying, and I was like, you know what, people that are Christians, that is a privilege, it's an honour, because God holds you. Because when you want to do something and you can't do it, you can't explain why you can't do it, that's because God is holding you. and you recognise that. And you know, there's so many times I've been like, okay, do you know what? I just want to give up. Like, God, just let me go. But He's holding me.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have God holding me, you know, what else will hold me? You know,
Yeah.
I would have no reason to not do it.
And in that mental health, you can go to God with that.
Yeah.
I have to be real, you know, I have screamed at God.
Yeah.
I've told God, I'm giving up, you've been unfaithful to me.
Yeah.
Imagine I've actually said that to
Yeah.
God, but as you say, He just engulfs me again. So, like, kind of like you're saying, it's okay,
Yeah.
calm down.
Yeah.
In those moments of absolute despair,
Yeah.
but He does, it's an absolute honour that He doesn't walk away.
Yeah.
We stamp our feet and stuff, but, you know, well, I do sometimes.
Yeah.
But He just stays there and He just waits.
Yeah.
And He'll do that for anyone.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, touching on that suicide thing, I think as well, Christianity in the eyes of some people, that some people think it's for them and not me.
Mm-hmm.
And what I want people to realise is that the reason why I'm free is because of God.
Yeah.
I have done, you know, yes, God does help those who help themselves,
Yeah.
but if we are willing to go to Him and say, okay, this is what I'm embarking on, Lord, I need you to help me, and you're willing to pray to Him and read and go to someone and speak to someone, when you're in that dark place, He does meet you where you're at. Definitely.
Wow. Amazing. Oh, there's so much that we've spoken about, and I'm so excited. And I love the fact that we can talk about different aspects and different angles. Personally, for me, you know, I have to talk about God in this because there is no, I don't know anything else.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
God. So, and I know a lot of people that don't have that option, but for me, I feel like the reason why I'm free and I'm able to do that is because I don't see God as a religion. I can go to God and be like, okay, God, you know what? I just can't wake up today. I just don't want to wake up today. Like, I just feel like this, you know. And there's a lot of things that I've gone through that I have shared on my video as well, and I've been like, you know what? You know, one of the things that I love to do is write. You know, I journal and I talk to myself, and I'm like, do you know what? This is the way that I can deal with it. You know, if you find the right outlet, find it and do that consistently. And it's when people, they don't know where to go to, they don't know what to do, and they do take that route, or they get worse, and that darkness does consume them. So it's really important to find the right outlet for you. You know, whether it's journaling, whether it's singing, whether it's writing, whether it's dancing, you know, whether it's sports, gym. Just find something that you can do to overcome that. And it is each day as it comes. That's the way I always look at it.
Sometimes it's moment by moment.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's just, you know, 1 hour something can be great, and the next hour you can get some kind of news. But it is taking it literally second by second. But life is so precious, you know. And please be encouraged, whoever's watching this. Just life is so special, and it's gonna get better. You know. I used to smoke a lot of drugs, and I used to drink a lot, and you know, people say, "Oh, do you think your cells have gone in your mind?" And I believe that, you know, I am at the sharpest, the most clearest time I've ever been in my life. I'm 35 now, and I don't believe that those things have affected me because I've gone to God.
Yeah.
But you know, that's where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
I smoked weed for 8 years, and I mean, like, I couldn't go a day without it.
Really?
Yeah, I used to drink 4 times a week, and I had a very low self-esteem, and I looked for love in the wrong places.
Yeah.
And that's changed for me, and I have gone to God, and I have done a lot, and I just want to encourage people, if it can change for me, it can change for you.
Yeah.
Like, I was a hot mess.
Yeah.
Like, it was messy. Really messy.
Legit messy.
Yeah, like I got the membership card, the t-shirt, like everything, man. It's like people could come to teach me. Like people could come to me to get taught how to be a mess. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I've just got such a different life now.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, I'm married, I've got 2 children.
Did you ever get to a point where you thought you wasn't going to get all of that, or where you couldn't see yourself getting that all?
God, yeah. Yeah.
And now you look back and you're just like, oh my gosh,
I'm
it's
just
time,
like,
isn't it?
Yeah, it is time, and time is a great healer.
Yeah.
And time is, you know, I was praying the other day, and something that came to my heart was that time is free, but we misuse it.
Yeah.
You know, and time is such a precious weapon, tool. you know, it's just something that can be used so wisely to change things. Like anything can change within a minute.
Yeah.
You know, good and bad.
Yeah.
You know, you can smile at someone on the street or give them a sandwich that might give them hope to not feel down that day.
Yeah.
And, you know, not to be too morbid, but someone can, you know, fatally hurt someone,
Yeah.
you know, in a minute, within a split
Yeah.
second. So anything can change, and that's what I'm saying. If people are just thinking, I cannot take anymore, I can't live like this anymore, you know, in time it does change.
Yeah.
And especially like me as a young woman, you know, young women who are watching, and this is in the church and outside the church, this is something that really needs to be addressed. There's girls who are out there, and women, you know, girls, women, you know, we're all the same kind of thing. And we dress ourselves up, but there isn't a genuine confidence.
Yeah, of course.
You know, we can do our hair, we can do our makeup, and I'm not, you know, I've got my makeup on, you've got your makeup on, and it's a brilliant thing to present ourselves well.
Yeah.
But if there's this perfection that we're looking for, and that's what I used to look for, it's not good. It's not good. We need to have a genuine confidence.
Yeah.
And again, it's going back to the root and the origin of who you are and saying, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And this is what we need to stand up against mental health.
Yeah.
You need to say to mental health, you know, and the darkness that comes, you are dealing with the wrong person.
Yeah.
I am strong.
Yeah.
I am courageous. I am confident. I say to my little boy, saying, I am confident. And he says, I'm confident.
Yeah.
You know, and it's putting it into our children. And it doesn't matter if you're not a child. It doesn't matter if you are 20, 40, 70, 90. It doesn't matter. We can change our mindset.
Yeah, because you know, I believe mental health is no respecter of man or age.
Definitely.
So it doesn't matter how old you are, like you said. You were saying something about what you go through, it's for someone else, you know,
Definitely.
to help that other person. So if you can imagine the amount of people you can help with your story, or you know, if you don't feel pretty that day and you know you look at someone rather than being like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty, like, oh my god, she's so beautiful. And you know, tell them rather than, you know, looking, you know, what's that, analysing that person, like the way they are,
and
comparing yourself, exactly. You know, it's battling things like comparison.
I used to always do that.
Yeah.
And you know, that was part of the condition, like, oh, she's pretty, look at her skin, look at this, look at that. And but if you, once you start saying you're beautiful, like, I love your eyelashes today, they look amazing. I can't do it myself, I'm sorry. But, you know, I like to compliment people because I used to be that, oh, look at her, like my soul was heavy. But once and you know, that's not something I'm pleased about, but I've changed my mindset. And once you tell them that, you feel uplifted because you are giving love. And that's what we're designed to do.
Exactly.
To receive and give love, you know. And when you speak, you'll be surprised, like when you say to like a young man or a young girl, you know, oh, you look great, you know, you look really well. They're like, oh, thanks.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're kind of shocked to receive it. So not only are you blessing your soul, you're blessing them, which is the more important thing.
Exactly. Try doing that, you know, try compliment someone once a day, or, you know, 5 people a day. Like, give yourself a target, give yourself, because you've got to put all these things in place. You've got to be conscious that, you know what, I'm going to defeat mental health in my life, because I have a sound mind, and you have to keep saying that, you know. So try something that will work for you, and let me know as well. And I'll pass definitely on to Fiona things that we've shown you today, tips that will work. Because I'm excited, and I'm on this. You know, I believe that everyone is special. I love humanity. I'm so compassionate towards people, and do you know what? I look back at my life and I don't think, oh, why did this happen to me? I look back at my life and I'm like, do you know what? I'm a stronger person. I'm a stronger woman today.
Definitely.
And I will be even more stronger moving forward. You know, everything that I've been through, it makes me laugh, because the enemy really thought that I was going to be broken down and destroyed, but I'm here. So like, just the thought of that is just like, wow. Like, you look back in your life and you're like, wow, like, I'm still here, like,
and stronger
than ever before, and that's an amazing achievement. And you definitely have to recognize that. You have to recognize every little achievement in your life, because it matters. And the
word says that God will set a table before our enemies.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't really look at that as like, oh yeah, you know,
Yeah.
show me who I am. It's like,
Yeah.
it's not
Do
that.
you know who I am?
It's like, oh God, get over yourself.
Yeah.
But I see that as, it's like, God, set a table before the people, before the demons of hell.
Yeah.
Every spirit that has ever come to me, anxiety, depression, low self-esteem, you know, every spirit you can think of. I said, Lord, set my table before that.
Yeah.
Before then, let the darkest bit of hell see how you raise us up as a people. But we have to walk with God and fight with Him. Like the battle is ultimately His, but we have to be in agreement with Him to do that.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I pray for
No, yeah, pray for it.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to pray for everyone who's watching, who's you know, dealing with some kind of mental health. If it be body dysmorphic disorder, there's different levels of it, or any anxiety. I used to have anxiety to the point where I didn't want to come out of the house, or I felt sick, or used to be very fearful. So I'm just going to lift you up to God, and if you're a believer, amen, you know where we're coming from, but if you're not a believer, I'm just going to encourage you that, listen, I was in a dark place, and I used to take drugs, I used to drink, as you heard, and God has brought me out of that, and God is for everyone. God is for everyone. So, and if you've been in prostitution, whatever, if you've slept with 100 men, if you've slept with 1,000 girls, I don't care where you're coming from, God loves you and He wants to change your life for you. So Father, in the name of Jesus, Lord, I just pray for everybody watching this video right now, and I thank you, Lord, for their life. Heavenly Father, God, I lift every soul to you in the name of Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach. Lord, I lift that up to you, and I speak life, and I speak peace. And every person that is watching right now that is doubting you, that is saying this is a load of gibberish, Lord, I'm asking right now that you will prove your love to them. Show them who you are. Show them that you are real. Show them that you are the Saviour, that you sent your only begotten Son Jesus to this earth to save them of their sins. Heavenly Father, Lord God, as there is so much darkness, Lord God, that is trying to consume the minds of your people, Lord God, as the darkness tries to act out in people as well, as we've seen in this hour, Lord, let them see you work. Heavenly Father, I lift their minds to you. I lift the neurotransmitters in their minds that carries the chemicals and the messages. I lift their central nervous system to you, Lord God. I lift neurons to you, Lord God. I lift, Lord God, every toxic thought, Lord God. And I ask, Lord God, let the mind of Jesus Christ be in them. In the name of Jesus, I pray for hope. I pray for love. I pray, Lord God, that you will break through, Lord God, the darkness. I pray, Lord God, Heavenly Father, that you will give them strength. And Heavenly Father, if they've exhausted every avenue, they've said, I've been to counselling, I've been to therapy, I've been on antidepressants. Turn to Jesus and He will help you. Turn to Jesus and He will help you. Father God, we thank you, Lord God, for the beautiful, precious souls that are watching. We say unto you, we love you. Jesus loves you. Don't lose hope. We speak faith into your heart, into your soul, into your mind, into your mouth, into your eyes. Everything that you take in, that you will start to process it and think of it as the glass half full and not half empty. I speak positiveness over your mind. I pray, Lord God, that you will speak your word. And I pray, Lord God, the banner over them is love. In the name of Jesus we pray. I seal you under the blood of Jesus, that you will not lose hope. And I decree, you shall live and you shall not die. In the name of Jesus. You shall live and you shall not die. In the name of Jesus. God bless you. It's okay if things change, or if your routine changes a bit, or it doesn't go to plan. It's okay. You can be calm in that.
For me, it's like if I take a minute and I just take deep breaths, and it's like, okay, it's okay.
It's putting it back into sense.
It's putting it back in. Yeah, exactly. But if you don't have those things in place, then that's where I think the issue can just sort of stay. You need to be able to learn how to gain back control and find what works.
And I think people watching this and think, well, how do I learn it?
Yeah.
I'm in this place, it's so deep. And again, take your time.
Take your time,
you know, self-development, reach out to someone, start reading books. You know, look at Caroline, she's got lots of books, but there's loads of books on the market that you can read.
I'll put some links as well.
Yeah, I was going to say what I'll do.
Some links,
I'll give some to you, I'll text you that can literally change your life.
Yeah.
You know, and the book of all books, the Bible.
Yeah.
You know, if you speak that word out, I feel things shift when I speak the word of God.
Yeah.
And you know what? What I will say is that picking up a book, or speaking the word of God, or praying, or asking God for help is hard sometimes when you're in that dark place.
Yes, definitely.
But what I will encourage you to do, yes, it's hard. And I remember being on the floor in my living room saying, I cannot do this anymore, God. But I pushed through and I started to pray and I started to worship, and I remember just the atmosphere shifted, and I remember saying, no, I am going to read this, I am going to read this little chapter today of this book, and if it was 5 lines, I would get something that could change me. So some days you have to push.
It encourages you.
And on my bad days I think, well, what's the point? I'm not going to pray. And it's like, and I hear the Lord saying, come on, pray, come on, pray. And I was like, well, what's the point? It's not going to change anyway. And I have days like that, I've got to be honest, you know what I mean? Because, you know, life is life.
Yeah.
But then I think, no, come on, this is your guide. Or it might be a book I'm reading. No, come on, read the book, you know, do what you've got to do. And it does shift.
Yeah.
And you just feel like you just come out of it with a spring in your step. And like, you've got hope and you've got faith, and you're like, I serve a faithful God. He will never leave or forsake me.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, I remember it just takes me back at a time when I think I was back at uni, and I can't remember what was going on with me, but someone just messaged me, and, you know, they were just like, you know what, just you know, have some ice cream, just watch something that you enjoy watching, just take your time, and it's just those little things, you know. Sometimes it's not doing the big things, sometimes it's just taking time just to do something. You know, don't just lay in bed and, you know, do nothing and just feel sorry for yourself and have that pity. And for me, the most important thing is the words that you're saying.
Definitely.
You know, it's the things like, because sometimes, like you said, you'd have days and you'd be like, okay, God, I don't want to pray. You're still speaking to God. You know what I mean? It's like you're conversating, so it's like you're actively doing something. Even though you've not prayed or you've not read, but you're saying, you know what, God, you're speaking to someone. You know, and it is having that's you doing something, whether it's a friend, or whether it's God, or whether it's a sister, whether it's a mum, you know. You're doing something that's letting that out. One of the worst things I think you can do is just suppressing that and keeping that inside, because that's going to eat you up inside if you're not talking, you know.
Big time.
So
and something that like, don't, you know, this is something that is so sad, but it's true. Don't live your life with regret. Don't live your life with regret, because don't get to this age of like 60, 70 or whatever, in a more mature age, and you have not tried to pursue your goals, your dreams, because of depression, anxiety, fear. You know, I still, you know, on a daily basis battle with things, you know, with life in general, and I think we all do. I haven't got it all together, but my life is different because I understand how to operate more with mental health, you know, and many people are scared, thinking I can't go to the doctors, or like very pregnant women as well, they get scared of saying that they've got mental health because they're scared in case their babies will be taken off them. There's all these different things, do you know what I mean? But reach out and do something, because God has put gifts and dreams in all of us. If you want to be a singer, if you want to build a business, if you want to do a YouTube channel, it might be anything. And with that, don't get to this age of like 17 thinking, I'd wish that I'd done it. You know, for a long time, I convinced myself that I couldn't go to university, that I wasn't intelligent enough. And on my first assignment, I got an A. And I went to my tutor and I was like, I got an A. And he was like,
are you sure?
Yeah, I was like, I know. And I was like, I got an A. And he was like, yeah, I know. And he said, if you keep going like that, you possibly get a first. Now, I might get a first, I'd like to get a first, but I'm not saying I'm not going to try, that's what I'm going to work towards. But I've got 2 children, and I have to nurture them, I have to nurture them, I have to be mummy, and I really want a degree, but my ministry at the moment is being a mummy, and I have to build those children to love God and to be very grounded in life. Sorry to go off a bit with that, but what I'm saying is that through this, through me going to university, it's a dream that I had. And it's something that in my low self-esteem and lack of confidence days, I wouldn't do it. You know, because I didn't think. And then my husband said, you know what, Fiona, if you want to go to university, go. You know, and he said, you can do this, why couldn't you go to university? And I said, well, I just don't think I'd pass. And he says, well, who says? And I said, I says. And he said, exactly. Who's the God that you served? You know, you serve, and what have you got in you? Because he said, do not get to 50, 60, 70, you wanted to be a psychologist, you want to help people with low self-esteem issues and confidence issues and image, but you've got down to the line and you haven't got any years left to pursue that dream. There's a business I want to build, and it's like the time is now. So this is what I'm saying, you've got to fight for your destiny. You really don't sit on it any longer, and I know it's hard. I'm not going to deny that it's not hard. Sometimes it's severely excruciating to try and break out of it. But if you keep going and you start to just set small goals. I've got like a memo in my phone of all the things that I want to achieve, and I've been ticking them off as I achieve them. And one was to pass my foundation year to make sure I can go on to my degree. And I've passed it. I've just got one more little assignment, but I know I've got the credits to get onto it. And I was like, wow, I'm ticking off goals, because I said, God, don't let me live in regret because of anxiety and because of fear and because of depression, because there's so many wonderful gifts that God has given to you and you to change people's lives, and this is one of them. You wouldn't have found me sitting here, you know, some time ago, because I would have been too scared of what people think. But now I'm happy to sit with you and say, let's celebrate. We're overcoming. We're helping people.
I love that. Let's celebrate. And join us as well in celebrating. You know, by changing your life and moving forward. And I love what you said. It's, you know, you've got to fight for your destiny. You're obviously here for a reason. Otherwise you wouldn't have been created. So you need to be
stronger than you think.
You're stronger than you think. You just need to find that and get connected. You know, find people that you can relate to and connect to that. You know, just plug yourself in, because you're definitely worth it.
I just wish everyone, you know, I pray them all the best, and just please don't give up. Don't live in regret. You know, chase after your dreams, chase after your goals. Even if you know, ask God to help you. Just reach out to someone, you know, even if it's a comment on this YouTube video, like Janice will be able to give you some links of people to go to, like, I think, have you got in touch with counselling services and stuff?
We will be,
So in time, you know, even if it's just reach out to someone, and if it be us, I'm sure that we'll reply to you, and just please be happy and just don't worry, things can get better. No matter how dark it seems to be, joy comes in the morning, and that's when the sun is rising and light comes. So please don't give up. It's going to get better. It's going to get better.
Thank you so much for being here with me.
Thank you for having me. It's been an absolute honour.
It's been amazing, and I hope you guys have enjoyed today. Just comment below, send me some tweets, Facebook, wherever you can reach out to me, then definitely do that, and we can reply. I want to also do like something anonymously where people can, like, you know, send in an anonymous, I don't know, whatever they're going through, and we can reply to that as well. So I'm going to be working on that. So, because I don't know, like, I'm just trying to go as wherever God leads me. But I'm excited. So next time there's going to be more. So keep following the Soul Healing series, and I want to definitely hear some testimonies of people's souls being healed. So I hope you enjoyed that part of the video with Fiona. It was amazing. We spoke so much, but I hope that there's something that you could sort of take back from it. I'm really excited for the next episode. I'm going to do it into a part 2 because we've just got some really good feedback. But for this section, I hope that there's things that you can take from it. We've spoken so much, and Fiona has given us loads of tips and obviously shared her story. So you can definitely relate to that. And also, if you've got anyone that you know might be going through it, share the video with them. Subscribe to the channel as well. Hopefully we can get more people in.